Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro. Have you seen that action right there, or something similar to it? Number one player in the world, Scotty, when he makes that swing, his foot kicks back, which is not as uncommon as you think. Because if you go back and you go to days of Greg Norman and many of those guys, they used to do that. But the thing is it unique? Well, yes and no, because the truth is, it's really just an action. Like when I played racquetball, I went there, tennis, and various other sports. And sometimes I think it may be a little bit more natural than what we think it is. Now, of course, you got to come see me. I got my buddy Peter that's going to be down here well, it is December, but next week? I think he'll be down here next week. See, he's going to get the privilege of being able to come see me up close and personal and be able to find out why that move works or what's causing that. And it's going to definitely improve his game, especially when I explain it to him. So the thing is that Scotty, great player, no question about it. But if you really look at this action in itself, I mean, it's really not a real difficult thing if you really understand exactly, got one a little fat, if you understand exactly what it is that you're trying to do, in essence, to get the feeling of that. And like I said, many players have done that. Now, I hear a lot of people talking about, Tiger Woods. And I always try to tell the brothers all the time, don't be critical of Tiger Woods, of what he's dealing with. As I said before, if Tiger Woods wants to play golf right now, bros, the best advantage that you all have as teachers is to absolutely figure out a solution that might help him in essence, because with all the injuries that he's had, then of course, I mean, he hasn't said in his mind, okay, this is it, I'm never going to listen to nothing else, blah, 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 blah. No, your job is to come up with some good information that might benefit him based on his limitations. Now, I know many people, try to criticize my top down, but now you hear everybody, I don't care if Tiger Woods is saying top down or not, Tiger Woods ain't jumping up off the ground to try to hit the golf ball. He just can't do that anymore. So he's definitely using more of his upper body. So the real truth is, because I have a philosophy and it's written, I just haven't released the book and I don't know when exactly I am. The book's called Top Down. But the thing is this, I'm at a major advantage because I wrote the philosophy of what top down is. So if I sat here and Tiger came to me and he said, okay, what is this top down? I have to swing more with my upper body. Then now I don't have to go through the Rolodexes and try to find information. I could tell him right off the bat, hey, listen, here's one thing that I do. The upper body, telling them what it is, triggers the middle to trigger the lower. And now you don't have to think about pushing off. Now, one brother said to me, he said, and he did correct me on something, and it, not so much as he correct me on it, is that just the way that I was saying it wasn't exactly how I have it written. And I was talking about gravity pushing on the body, but I do know that, the earth is a gravitational pull. There's no question about that. But the point was, when he said that, I said that right there in itself or whatever gives more credence to what it is that I'm saying about top down, because if gravity is pulling on us, then when I start from the top, especially since my arms are out here and gravity has got to be pulling on this arm, so when I start from the top down, then my arms are, as I push my arms down, they are being pulled by gravity. So gravity is assisting in the action that I am creating there. And the thing is, that's natural. But if we try to go from the ground up, or our first movement is from the ground up, then that's not natural. That's why so many people have a hard time finishing their swing, because the finish of the swing does require actions to feel like they're pulling up. And that's not natural, because once again, gravity is trying to pull us down and we're trying to pull this up. So the finish is and most people, you look at them, they have a hard time finishing the golf swing. I did so myself. So the thing is, I said, even about my going back to Scotty Scheffler, even the movement that he's making, you know, when he kicks that foot back, I mean, that leg goes back, as I said before, is still anatomically based, and it's not individual, and it's not something that's just individual to that only person, because there's other people who did it. Now, like I said, once you understand the actions and movements, you can create it yourself. As I said before, it's something that I did in racquetball and many other sports. And believe it or not, like Occam's razor, you know, sometimes the simplest answer is usually the correct one. And that's what I think, as I said before about golf, you know, we're taking things and making it too complicated. You know, I got guys that, you know, try to say to me, hey, Charles, you know, oh, you should put your numbers up for your TrackMans and all this stuff and all that, you know, and I've used all that stuff. I just do not teach that way. I don't want to teach that way. I choose not to teach that way. Nor do I criticize people who do, but I have some criticism. Yes, I have some criticism when people tell me that you can't learn to hit the golf ball unless you use TrackMan and this and that or whatever. Dude, I don't agree with that. It does not determine whether I can play golf or not. You know, a 68 is a 68, no matter how you do it. And when you step on the golf course, you've got to play. And I don't need all those extra thoughts of wondering what my rate of closure is and all of that. Now, if that's up to you, that's fine. But I find it very interesting when you're telling people, you know, that you got to know all these things, but in the same breath, you're saying, hey, you know, when you get on the golf course, you can't make it complicated. Well, if I'm trying to figure all this out, where my P6 is or that or whatever, which is fine with you, in essence, then, and all these other things, then, dude, it's got to be complicated. Where in essence is all I'm doing is what God gave us, so what was common sense, that when this club is up, all I'm doing is bringing it back down. And as my boy made the comment or whatever, and allow gravity to pull as I'm pushing whatever down to strike the ball to finish the golf swing. So, like I said, people, you know, pay attention. Pay attention to what's happening. I'm gonna hit one more here. Pay attention to what's happening. What Scotty Scheffler is doing is beautiful. I love it, but it's just an action. All it really is an action, people. And I got a good understanding of what it is. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro. You want to learn what that action is? Hey, listen, that's not one I'm going to do on video or anything of that nature. You got to come to the Marriott Grand Vista or Orlando, Florida, and come see me, and I'll show you how it works. Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro. Always good golfing.